राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामनि गौरात्वेषे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, you are all welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Shastri study of Nectar structure by Srila Rupa Goswami. So, we have started yesterday text 2. So text 2, the activities which are against devotional service, which destroy devotional service. Activities that destroy devotional service. And they are, how many are they? Six. And what are those 6? So if we chant the verse, then how it will sound? Patyahara priyasasya punyamagraha janasangasya lovyam cha sharabhir vinashyati. And yesterday we started the purport, and the theme was human life is meant for simple living, high thinking. And by simple living, we will get free from the influence of Maya or material energy. And by higher thinking, we will come under the direct shelter of internal energy. So how many energies Krishna have? What are those? External, internal and marginal. So what energy we are? Now what are the choices we have? So by simple living, we will be free from the influence of Bahirang Shakti. Then the Maya Devi will not make us Duratma, and we will not indulge in sense gratification. Okay? By higher thinking, we will come under the shelter of internal energy, Antarang Shakti, and that is represented by Srimati Radharani or her expansion Lakshmi. And then we will get benefit to become Mahatma, opposite to the Duratma. And second benefit, constant engage in devotional service. Can you understand now why Prabhupada said simple living, higher thinking? This is to get free from external energy and to come under the shelter of internal energy. Is this concept very clear? This is the concept of simple living, higher thinking. Is it okay? Then yesterday we discussed about this verse which is here in our book. What is that verse? Mahatmanastu mam parat devim prakritimashruta bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadimavyayam. So the great souls are broad-minded people are under the shelter of Radharani. And the Divyam Prakritim is Radharani. Okay, now Srila Prabhupada writes, we are starting the second paragraph. The word Mahatma refers to those who are broad-minded. Maha means broad and Atma means mind. Mahatma means broad-minded. Not crippled-minded. Crippled-minded is Duratma. Mahatma is broad-minded and crippled-minded is Duratma. Crippled-minded persons always engage in satisfying their senses, sometimes expand their activities in order to do good for others through some ism like nationalism, humanitarianism, altruism. So this all ism, they are cripple-minded. They all are coming under the heading of cripple-minded. Why? Because they are indulged in satisfying their own senses, either limited to oneself or extended to family, to humanity, to nation, but this is also sense gratification in one sense. So Prabhupada explained this further. They may reject personal sense gratification for the sense gratification of others, like the members of their family, community, or society, either national or international. Actually, all this is extended sense gratification from personal to communal to social. So, expanded sense gratification or selfish self-will, both are activities of cripple-minded Duratma. Okay?
So we have higher planetary system where there is one planet for Mahatmas. So are they not selfless? Like I understood that they
Which planet for Mahatma? There is Om Bhur Bhur Swat Tat Tapalok, Janlok, Maharlok.
Yes.
They are all saintly people living there. They have no self-interest.
So this one is different.
This is on the human planet here. Everything is discussed of this earthly planet. It has nothing to do with the higher planets right now. Actually, this is extended sense gratification from the personal to the communal to the social. This may all be very good from the material point of view, but such activities have no spiritual value. The basis of such activity is sense gratification, either personal or extended. Only when a person gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord can he be called Mahatma or broad-minded person. Now, if you have to write, Broad-minded, satisfy the senses of Supreme Lord. Cripple-minded, satisfy his personal senses or extended senses of this society international. This is the classification. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now, if I ask you one question which you have already done in Bhagavad Gita preface, what is the central point? What is the central point of Bhagavad Gita? Central point of Bhagavad Gita from preface. That is the mission of Krishna. You have Bhagavad Gita with you?
Understanding the will of Krishna and acting.
If you have little intelligence, then why I ask this question? Because what we have read now is Mahatma is, who is Mahatma? One who?
Satisfies the senses of Krishna.
Therefore this central point Bhagavad Gita must be
Satisfies senses of Krishna.
one who satisfies the senses of Krishna. This is a common sense. When the question is asked, you must have a intelligence. Now you go into the preface in the last page and you find out Prabhupada writes, everybody tries to satisfy his senses, but nobody is satisfied. And when we satisfy the senses of Krishna, that is the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Can you find this?
Instead of satisfying his own person.
Instead of satisfying one's own senses, if we want to satisfy the senses of Krishna, then he is, this is the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna wants this and he demands this.
Yes.
He wants this and he demands this. Can you find this?
Yes.
So why you forgot this? This is a question bank question also. What is the central point of Bhagavad Gita? Is question bank question. Is it clear? Underline this in Bhagavad Gita. Now those who follow the central point of Bhagavad Gita, they are Mahatma. You relate the both books together now. Is it clear? So, definition of Mahatma is one who satisfies the senses of Krishna. That is the central point of Bhagavad Gita basically. And Duratma sensitive satisfies his own senses or extended senses, sense gratification of the society and so on. Is it okay? Now we are going to the next paragraph. In the above quoted verse from Bhagavad Gita, the word Devim Prakritim refers to control of the internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani or her expansion Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Is it okay? What is the meaning of expansion of Radharani Lakshmi?
Sahasra Lakshmi expand.
Huh?
Sahasra Lakshmi means thousands of Lakshmi expand from the Radharani. That is quoted in Navasangita.
Sahasra Lakshmi Sambrase Vyamanam Govindam. Krishna is Adipurush. From his right side he expands first as Balaram. And all Vishnu Tattva expand from Balaram. From his left side Krishna expands as Radharani. And Radharani expand her Kaya view. Kaya view means her bodily expansion as all the gopis of Vrindavan. As Pratibimb. Pratibimb means reflection. The queens of Dwarka. And as her plenary portion or expansion as Lakshmis in Vaikuntha. So they all are expansion of Radharani. Queens of Dwarka, Gopis of Vrindavan and all Lakshmis in Vaikuntha are expansion of Radharani. And we Jiva are also expansion of Radharani. We are a part and parcel of Radharani. Because energies come from energy. And the external energy is shadow of Radharani. Chaya, Nurupa, Vibharti, Durga. This is the Durga, or external energy, is shadow of Radharani. All energies come from Radharani, and all Vishnu Tattva come from Balaram.
But Priti, in Bhagavatam is like shadow of Krishna is Maya's shadow of Krishna. Chayeva yasya Govindam Adi Purusham, then also.
Through Radharani. Krishna and Radharani is one, they are not two. Prabhupada, Radha Krishna is God, they are not God. Radha Krishna is God, Prabhupada says. One is Mother God, one is Father God. Radharani is Mother God, Krishna is Father God. There is no concept of Father God in any religious belief except in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Father God and Mother God. So both are one. Ek Atma Duhi De Dhari. It's one soul and two bodies. It's like that. Anyo Anya means to please one another. Is it okay?
See, whatever the other Vaishnava Sampradayas, they also have Father God.
Generally, there's an impersonal particular. Whether Vaishnava Sampradaya has a Krishna, Father God has a. So, when we say Radharani has internal potency, then we must say if somebody is a worshipper of Ram, then this internal potency represents Sita. If somebody is a worshipper of Lakshmi Narayan, then Lakshmi is expansion. So she is also internal potency. They are all internal potency, but they are expansion of original internal potency, Radharani. So Hare means for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Radha. Hare to the Ramanujan Acharya, Lakshmi. Hare to the Ramanandis, Sita. So that's all fine. There's no problem. That's perfect. What's your question?
Actually, my question is, we are expansion of.
My microphone, huh?
My question is that we are expansion of Radha. So we are.
What I say, am I full? Then,
I have some doubts, some clarity.
if you have doubts, then you clear your doubts.
So that's why I want to hear from you. So,
We are expansion of Krishna.
yeah,
But how? Through?
through Radha.
We all are believer of Radha and Krishna through Prabhupada, through Rupa Anuga. So it's like that. Energies come from energy. There are very clear-cut purports of Srila Prabhupada and Bhagavatam. Recently I was teaching exactly this is the word, expansion of internal potencies. Anyway, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mama evansa jiva bhuta. But how? Through internal potency.
So hearing that properties, Prabhupada described this marginal energy means inferior.
What, Prabhupada?
Prabhupada said this, marginal energy, superior energy means inferior energy, superior energy.
So from where they are coming ultimately? It is Prabhupada also says, there is a one energy coming as electricity. The good engineer can use it for lighting, can use it for sound, can use it for cooling, can use it for heating. So one energy Krishna can use as internal, as external, as marginal. It's a little high. Anyway, I'm going sometime a little more high from your level. Is it okay? So why expansion? We discussed why Lakshmi is expansion. Written here, expansion of Radharani.
She was Yogamaya.
Huh?
Yogamaya.
It's also expansion of Radharani. So everything, whatever energy, it has to come ultimately from Radharani. Radharani comes from Krishna. Now, when the individual jiva souls are under the control of internal energy, their only engagement is to the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. This is the position of Mahatma, If one is not a Mahatma, he is Duratma, or a cripple-minded person. Such mentally crippled Duratmas are put under the control of Lord's external potency, Maya. Is it okay? Or this slide clarify all this. Yeah, it's very. So 2 paragraphs are in one. They are condensed in this one slide. It's okay. Now next paragraph. Indeed, all living entities within the material world are under the control of Mahamaya, whose business is to subject them to the influence of threefold miseries. And these are the threefold miseries. Adhyatmik klesha, adi bhautik klesha, adhyatma klesha. Klesha means misery. Adi devak means caused by superior forces like demigods. And they are like natural calamities, earthquake, storms, tsunami, like that. The Adi Bhautik Klesh, suffering caused by other living entities, like insect, enemies. Adhyatma Klesh, suffering caused by the body and mind, mental and physical infirmities, means diseases. So these 3 kleshas everybody know, right?
Yes.
So threefold miseries: Adi Devik, suffering caused by the demigods such as droughts, earthquake and storms. Adi Bhautik Klesh, suffering caused by other living entities like insect or enemies. And Adhyatma Klesh, suffering caused by the one's own body and mind, such as mental and physical infirmities. Exactly the words of the book are shown here. You can say something more, but only exactly that much is shown in this slide. Daiva Bhut Atma Hetavaha. Daiva Bhut Atma Hetavaha, Prabhupada writes, the conditioned soul subjected to these 3 miseries by the control of external energies suffer various difficulties. Daiva means by superior energy, demigods, or the destiny. Bhut Atma Hetavaha, they are the cause. Heto means cause for their suffering in the material world. So the meaning of the Dev Bhut Atma, the meaning of the Dev Bhut Atma Hetava, the conditioned soul subjected to these 3 miseries by the control of external energy, suffer various difficulties. This paragraph is over. So this is here. Now you see this slide. This paragraph is complete in this slide. It's okay? Now we are going to next paragraph. The main problem confronting the conditioned soul is the repetition of birth, death, and old age. So these are the problem of the living entity. There's 4 main problems of conditioned soul. Can you see this next slide? 4 main problems of conditioned soul: birth, death, old age, and disease. Right? In the material world, one has to work for the maintenance of the body and soul. But how can one perform such work in a way that is favorable for execution of Krishna consciousness? This is a question. Everyone requires possessions such as food grains, clothing, money, and other things necessary for maintenance of the body. But one should not collect more than necessary for his actual basic needs. What is this? Ati ahar. First word of the verse is explained in these lines. Everybody needs something for maintenance, but he should not collect more than his necessity, which means ati ahar. Is it okay? If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. Okay? According to nature's arrangement, living entities lower on the evolutionary scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. Cow will eat as much as she wants to eat. The insect will eat as much as they want to eat. So they are naturally only as much as they need it. They cannot collect for next day. But Prabhupada writes, consequently in the animal kingdom there is generally no economical problem or scarcity of necessities. So there's no problem in lower species. But now Prabhupada is comparing with the human. If a bag of rice is placed in the public place, birds will come to eat a few grains and go away. A human being, however, will take away the whole bag. He will eat all his stomach and hold and then try to keep the rest in storage. According to the scripture, this collecting of more than necessary, ati ahar, is prohibited. Now, the entire world is suffering because of it. So, okay? Concept of ati ahar now. Now go to see the screen. Concept of ati ahar by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is speaking. Ati ahar, overeating or too much collecting. Many think it refers to overeating, but it's not like that. Vacho vegam, manaskrodha vegam, jima vegam, utrapastha vegam. Urges of the tongue desire to taste food stuff. Urges of the stomach desire to overeat. So ati ahar, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, the principle meaning eating or overeating, but ahar means also to enjoy the senses. Therefore, form by the eyes, sound by the ears, smell by the nose, taste by the tongue, and touch by the skin. If they are more than necessary, then it is also ati ahar. So if you every day more than 3 hours watch some YouTube channel problem, then it is ati ahar for the eyes.
3 hours.
Huh?
3 hours.
I say more than something time, it's a limited time. Few minutes somebody can see some information. Early morning I see Mangalarti live on YouTube, no problem. But you just watch something, that is ati ahar for the eyes. If you sing so many mundane songs for hours, this is also ati ahar. If you have so many varieties of the arrow, what's called fragrance, perfumes, is also ati ahar for the nose. Yeah, more palatable dishes, ati ahar for the tongue. More silky cloth or some, fine things, ati ahar for the skin. So this is all ati ahar according to Bhakti Vinod Thakur. It's okay? How to spiritualize the ati ahar of the senses, ahar of the senses. Eyes, go and see the deities in the temple. Read the scripture. Go to see the holy places, spiritual drama, spiritual festival. This is the right use of the eyes. Ears, hear scripture, spiritual songs, lectures and concertions. Nose.
Conversation.
Huh?
What is that word from the conversation means?
What is the meaning of this word?
Conversation.
It is conversation.
Conversation. Okay.
It's misprint.
Spelling.
Lecture conversation is mistaken here, okay?
Okay.
Right, so there was some mistake here. I think I have changed this much here. Lecture and conversation, huh? Conversation, only this we need a,
C will be changed to V.
here we need V.
Yes.
No, it won't work. Maybe PDF.
That is P.
Okay. And for the nose, tulsi, flower offered to the deities, sandalwood, fragrant items offered to the Lord. In the morning we get. Okay. For the tongue, kirtan and prasad. Kirtan for singing and prasad for touch. Air of the holy place touching to our skin. Pure water, body of a Vaishnava by touching his feet. Soft bed offered to the Lord. Association of the chaste woman for the propagation of the goods God-centered family, which means a Grasta's sense of touch. Time, Ekadashi, festivals, places, Vrindavan, Navadip, Puri, Naimisharanya, something like that. So, before we go further, let us read in our book. Collecting and eating more than necessary also causes priyasa. If you eat more and collect more, then you have to work extra. That's called priyas. Priyas. Or unnecessary endeavor. By God's arrangement, anyone in any part of the world can live very peacefully by if he has some land and a cow to milk. If somebody has some piece of land and some cow, then he can live peacefully. There's no need for a man to move from one place to other place to earn livelihood. For one can produce food grains locally and get milk from the cows. That can solve all economic problems. Fortunately, man has been given higher intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness or understanding of the God, one's relationship with Him, and the ultimate goal of the life, love of God. Unfortunately, so-called civilized men, not caring for God realization, utilize his intelligence to get more than necessary atyahar and simply eat to satisfy the tongue. By God's arrangement, there is a sufficient scope for the production of the milk and the grains for the human beings all over the world. But instead of using this higher intelligence to cultivate God consciousness, so-called intelligent men misuse their intelligence to produce many unnecessary and unwanted things. And what are these? Thus factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, and liquor shops are opened. This is our priyasas. They are coming under the heading of priyasas. If people are advised not to collect too many goods, eat too much, or work unnecessarily to produce artificial amenities. They think they are being advised to return to the primitive way of life. Generally, people do not like to accept plain living and high thinking. This is their unfortunate position. Was it okay? So what is here next? Let us see.
Root cause.
Root cause of Atyar. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says this is something new. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says root cause of Atyar is emptiness of heart's misdirection. Emptiness of heart. Why? Is misdirected by three things. There is a vacuum in the heart. Emptiness of the heart, which is manifested by over collecting, filling the house, overeating, collecting food or grains, filling the belly, many degrees, filling the head. So this is the definition of Atyar by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Emptiness of heart, therefore collecting more things in the home. Actually in every home, in my room also I can see there are things which I never use, but they are there. We just put the things there, we don't use. I don't know, this is a disease, sort of disease, because there's emptiness in the heart. So how can we fill the heart? What will actually fill our heart? Krishna. It is lack of Krishna consciousness that is the emptiness of the heart. And therefore we want to fill our house, fill our belly, or fill our head. House, belly, and head. Is it okay? This is the definition of Atyar by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Now these are different kinds of prayasas, because we are discussing prayas. This is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's prayas, different type of prayas. This is the bhog prayas, enjoying mentality, bhog prayas, over endeavoring for enjoyment, gross and subtle. Then Jnana prayas, getting more degrees. Then there's a karma prayas, working too hard just to get promoted to heaven or something. Ashtanga yoga prayas, getting mystic powers. Vairagya prayas, showing the detachment from the world. Bhakti prayas, practice as much is favorable for cultivating devotional service. Give up pride. What is, I don't remember. What is HBS? Somebody can say. Think of this. This represents what? Giving up pride.
Honor.
HBS means
Honored by someone.
huh? What is that?
Honored by someone, HPS.
Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya. Maybe Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya, because there are some quotation from Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya. It appears like that.
And what is the meaning this Emi?
Huh?
Emi, this Jnana Prayas, Emi.
What is that? Bhakti prayas to be done. Useless endeavors should be given up. Useless endeavors, all these are useless endeavors, give these up. Only engage in bhakti endeavors. This is Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, these are all endeavors. What are they? Different practices by a spiritualist. Now,
What about if I work very hard and then I buy a car and then use it in the service? What is that?
He thinks like that, but he does differently. I am doing everything for Krishna. But when things comes, he thinks, what Krishna needs? He's God. He don't need anything. What is the problem? I am his devotee. If I am satisfied, Krishna will be satisfied. What is the problem? So the mind will cheat us like anything.
So the first point, does it say that one should endeavor in bhakti as much as necessary and not try to over endeavor in bhakti? Is that the meaning of it?
Practice as much as favorable for cultivating devotional service. There are some things which are unfavorable for bhakti that we should not do.
Like
Excess austerity is also not
Huh?
good. Excess austerity is also not
Is
good.
also not good. This is also nectar of devotion. Who is eligible for practicing bhakti? It says anybody who is too attached to sense gratification is unfit for devotional service. He is fit for karma. Is fit for karma priyas. If he is too much detached and vairagi, then he is not fit for bhakti, he is fit for jnana. One who is not too much attached to the things and not too much detached is favorable for practicing bhakti. He is eligible for bhakti. There is a verse from Bhagavatam for that. Because for bhakti we need a soft heart. Jnana makes the heart very hard. Too much detachment will make a person very dry and hard-hearted. So it's not for bhakti. Bhakti needs mellow.
I have a question. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we read about the broad-minded devotee.
What?
In Srimad Bhagavatam, we read from the shloka that Akhama Sarva Kamo Va Moksha Kamo Dharati Tigrena Bhakti Yogena Yujeta Purusham. It means we give opportunity, whatever background they are, either they have more desires or either they don't have any desires like renunciance or so we give them opportunity to perform. That is the broad-mindedness of a devotee.
That
So
each
how do we
verse has a
understand
context.
this? Yeah.
This verse has a context.
So how do we understand that verse in relation to this verse when we say that who is qualified for bhakti? When in that verse it says
That verse is also there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. You'll get the same thing is there. It has a different meaning. Because the context there is some people worship the demigod, the sun god for health. Somebody is worshipping Lord Shiva for a good wife. So he said, instead of doing all this, whatever you want, you go to the Supreme Lord and do bhakti. So context is different. Eligibility is a different context. And there's a different verse for that from Bhagavatam. Madhu Kathas, that verse is in 11th canto. So this is what we read now from our purport. You see here, Prayasas in Prabhupada's purport. Livelihood, Vedic and modern materialistic. Vedic is God conscious centered high living, simple thinking, based on land and cow, live in one place peacefully. No need to travel. This is from our book. This is a Vedic way of livelihood, how to live. The modern materialistic, without God consciousness, produce many unnecessary and unwanted things based on factories, slaughterhouses, brothel, liquor shops. For livelihood, people travel from one place to other place. This is what in our book. There are two ways to maintain our body and soul. One is Vedic way and one is modern materialistic way. Is it okay? This is what we have read. This is coming under which heading?
Prayas.
Prayasas. So less prayas is in Vedic system because it's simple living, high thinking. To maintain body, we need grain, we need some milk product, and that one can live at one place peacefully and do it. And for modern because there is no God consciousness. So they have unwanted necessities, and therefore they have all these unwanted factories and everything, and therefore they have to go every day long distance for work. So this is the prayasas in our book. Is it okay? We should read the next paragraph in our book. The human life is meant for God realization, and the human being is given higher intelligence for this purpose. Those who believe that this higher intelligence is meant to attain a higher state should follow the instruction of the Vedic literature. By taking such instruction from higher authorities, one can actually become situated in perfect knowledge and give real meaning to the life. So this is also included in this slide. This is a Vedic way, a use of higher intelligence for self-realization. Next paragraph, Srimad Bhagavatam 129. One to 8 is here, 1 to 7 is here. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given these verses. For Karam Prayas 1 to 8, for Vairag Prayas 1 to 7. So these are all, and these example for Gyan Prayas, Manduk Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14:3, 10:14:4. These are Gyan Prayas, these are the Brahma's prayers. So there are these verses quoted by Bhaktivinoda Thakur as Ati Prayas. This is Prayas, all is West. And these are the quotation from Bhagavatam. Now we are reading this Bhagavatam verse. Dharmasya hi apavaragasya nartho arthayopakalpate narthasya dharmaikantasya kamo lobhaya hi smrtah. Before we read the further meaning of this verse, you know four Purusharth? Four Purusharth. Four is an English word. Purusharth means the objective of the human life. What are they? Number one, religiosity, dharma. Economical development, artha. Sense gratification, kama. And fourth is moksha or liberation. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The four, they are called four Purusharth. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us fifth Purusharth. You know that? Prema Pumartho Mahan. Prema Pumartho Mahan. So above these four, the fifth is topmost. That is Krishna Prem, right? So four Purusharth, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. It is better you always remember Sanskrit word. With equivalent English, Dharma, religiosity. Artha, economical development. Kama, sense enjoyment. And moksha, liberation. Now, this verse says, why we should practice religiosity? The next, for economical development? No. Dharmasya apavargasya. Religiosity is for upvarg, which means liberation. The meaning of upvarg is liberation. Is it clear?
Yes.
Upvarg means liberation. So religiosity should be for liberation, not for economical development. You know what is apavarg and what is pavarg? Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. You know pavarg? You know pavarg? Hare Krishna. Pavarg? No. It's like in English, P, Q, R, S, D, something line. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, something like that. In Sanskrit, there is pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. These are the letters. That is called pa varg. Pa varg, it means the letters starting from pa, the whole line. Pa means here parishram, which means prayasas. This pa means over endeavor. Pa means when you perspire and foam come from your mouth, like the horses and camels, and then when you get them run, the foam comes from the mouth because of hard endeavor. Pa. And ba, bharat, everything is useless ultimately. Bha, bhaya means fear. And ma, mrityu means death. So pa varg is always working hard, perspiring and having foam coming from mouth, and then everything is useless, always fearful and going to die. This is called pa varg. Opposite to this is apa varg. A means no. No hard work, no perspiration, nothing going to be wasted, no fear, no death, which means liberation. So religiosity should, why should we practice religion? For liberation. For liberation. But 99% people go to the temple, church or mosque only not for liberation, but for economical favor. So this is not the purpose of religion. Is it clear? And if you have money, it should be for what purpose? Sense enjoyment? Because next is sense enjoyment. Economical development is not for sense enjoyment. It should be used for religiosity. Artha dharmasya. Use the excess in our economical benefits for the purpose of religiosity, build temples, print books. That is the proper use of economical development. Then why we enjoy our senses? To live. Kama jivasya. For living, we must have a desire to keep the soul and body together. Why we should live? The next question, why should we live?
Because we are eternal.
Tattva jigyasa. Living is what? Tattva jigyasa. Inquire about the absolute truth. Living is to inquire about absolute truth. And then what is tattva? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdati. This one undivided absolute is realized by Jnanis as a Brahm, by yogis as a Paramatma, and by devotees as Bhagavan. That is the Tattva. This is all the sequence of verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter. So now we are reading this purport. Is it okay? The four things are clear?
The third line.
Which line? Let us read this now.
Oh, yeah, sir.
We have not started reading this. All occupational engagement, which means dharma, are certainly meant for ultimate liberation of vargasya. Right? They should never be performed for material gain, economical development. Arthasya. Furthermore, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service, which means dharma, should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. It means earth is not for calm. Earth is not for calm. Economical development is not for sense gratification. Now further, the first step in human civilization consists of occupational engagements performed according to this scriptural injunction. Occupational engagement means Varna Ashram Dharma, which means Varna Ashram Dharma. Occupational engagement means Varna Ashram Dharma. According to the scriptural injunction means what are the duties of a Brahman? What are the duty of a warrior? What is the duty of a businessman? What is the duty of a worker? According to the scripture, and in Bhagavad Gita, you will find out what Brahman should do, what Kshatri should do. So that is the meaning of these lines. Is it clear? The higher intelligence of the human being should be trained to understand basic dharma, which means that leads to the liberation. In the human society, there are various religious conceptions characterized by Hindu, Christian, Hebrew, Mohammedan, Buddhist, and so on. For without religion, it means there must be some religion. Without religion, human society is no better than animal society. Still Prabhupada is discussing about the same verse of Bhagavatam. Next paragraph. As stated above, dharmasya hi apvargasya nartho arthaya upakalpate. Religion is meant for attaining emancipation, which means liberation. Not for getting bread, which means economical development, or which means sense gratification, both. Sometimes human society manufactures a system of so-called religion aimed at material advancement. It means dharma for earth. If they use the religious principle for economical development, that is incorrect. That is wrong. The so-called religion aimed at material advancement. But that is far from the purpose of true religion. So what is true religion? Which leads one to liberation. What is true religion? Well, that is the highest religion. Savai punsham paro dharmo yato bhakti adhokshati ahituki apratihata yena atma suprasidati. That is the topmost religion. Dharma punshan vishvasesha kathasu ratim na bhajayate sarmevahi kevalam. All the occupational duties, if they don't lead to the attachment to Lord Vishnu, they are waste of time. It's okay. Okay, read what's Prabhupada writing. Religion entails understanding the law of God. Religion means law of God. Because the proper execution of these laws ultimately leads one out of material entanglements. That is the true purpose of religion. What is the true purpose of religion? To follow the laws given by God for getting free from material entanglements. Is it okay? Unfortunately, people accept religion for material prosperity because of atyahar. Now, Prabhupada is coming to the same topic, atyahar, which he it means here. If these so-called religious people use religion for economical development, then that is called atyahar. You understand this definition of atyahar? The use of religion for economical development is atyahar.
So this will come under bhakti prayas. This will come under bhakti prayas.
Not bhakti prayas. This is material. Everything is material. So religious practices leading to economical development is actually atyahar. Or an excessive desire to such prosperity. True religion, however, instructs people to be satisfied with the bare necessities of life, while cultivating Krishna consciousness. So the real purpose of true religion is which make person cultivate Krishna consciousness and as a real, say true religion instruct person to practice Krishna consciousness or cultivate Krishna consciousness and be satisfied with bare necessities of life. So what is a true religion? Let us write 3 lines for true religion. Number 1, true religion is for liberation, not for economical development. Number 2, true religion is a God of the law of God. True religion is a law of God. Instruct to cultivate Krishna consciousness. And number 3, true religion instruct the practitioner to maintain his body by bare necessities of life, to keep body and soul together. Is it okay? All right? Is something about true religion is clear? Now further we are reading in our book. Even though we require economical development, true religion allows it only for supplying the bare necessity of material existence. So this is a 4th line. You want a 4th point? That's a 4th point. Though we need economical development, but true religion allows us for bare necessities of life. These are the 4 points for true religion. Is it okay? Now Prabhupada is coming to the Jana Sanghasya, next topic. Oh, sir, no, not Jana Sanghasya. Now Prabhupada is coming, why we should live. Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa, why we should live? The real purpose of life is to inquire about the absolute truth, Tattva Jigyasa. If our endeavor, prayas, and now Prabhupada is coming to the same word, prayas. If our endeavor, prayas, is not to inquire about absolute truth, we will simply increase our endeavor to satisfy our artificial needs. So the true purpose of prayas should be to inquire into absolute truth. That is good, that prayas is good. If we don't do that, then we will be only satisfying our artificial needs. A spiritual aspirant should avoid mundane endeavors. Now next topic. Can we see what is here now? Prayasas in religion. This is the topic we just discussed. Now you see here. Prayas in religion. This verse quoted. As stated above, by Apavargasya nartho arthaya upakalpate. Religion is meant for attaining omnipotent, not for getting bread. Sometimes human society manifests a system of so-called religion aimed at material advancement, but that is far from purpose of true dharma. A spiritual aspirant should avoid mundane endeavor. This is the prayas in the dharma. Now we are going to the next topic, Prajalapa, in our book. Open your book. Another impediment is Prajalapa, unnecessary talking. When we mix with a few friends, we immediately begin unnecessary talking, sounding just like croaking toads. When class is over, when you go out or sit here, what talk you start generally? What we have studied today, you discuss about that. or you discuss something different from that? What is your answer? As soon as class is over, 95% Prajarp starts. Is right or wrong? The sincere student after class discusses what we learned. You discuss something, what point, how, what we should know. But nobody is doing except those who somehow miss some point, and they will ask, what is here? And generally in class, we judge the student after the class, not in the class, what they are doing after that. So, any two friends meet, they speak some nonsense about the world. They never discuss Krishna Katha. They never discuss Krishna Katha. It's not possible because our habit is to talk. And we talk something which is not necessary. So, Prabhupada writes, if we must talk, we should talk about Krishna consciousness movement. Those outside of Krishna conscious movement are interested in reading heaps of newspaper. This is also Prajalp. To read newspaper is Prajalp. Magazine is Prajalp. Novels are Prajalp. Solving crossword is Prajalp. And doing many other nonsensical things like WhatsApp and Facebook is Prajalp. Is it okay? And then Srila Prabhupada gives a story. In this fashion means Prajalp. In this fashion means for the unnecessary talking or reading literature. People simply waste their valuable time and energy. In the Western countries, old men retired from the active life play cards, fishing, watching television, and debate about useless socio-political schemes. They are all Prajalp. All these and other frivolous activities are included in the Prajalp category. Intelligent persons interested in Krishna consciousness should never take part in such activities. So what is the list of Prajalp? Now here, Prajalp, unnecessary talking, type of Prajalp in our book. Reading newspaper, magazine and novels. Solving crossword puzzles. Doing many other nonsensical things. Playing cards, watching TV, catching fish. Debate about useless socio-political things. These are all Prajalp in our paragraph just we read, right? Now what is here? Godless Prajalp, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, godless Prajalp, talking without subject of Krishna. Godless Prajalp are impediment to devotional service. They are of many types. Useless talk, arguments, gossip, debates, fault finding with others, which means when we go out, we just he was doing like this, he was doing like this, fault finding. Speaking falsehood, blaspheming devotees, and worldly talk are all Prajalp. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given the list of the nonsense talks, which are impediment for the devotional service. Srila Prabhupada about Jana Sanghasya. Now I say Jana Sangha. We are going to the next topic. Okay. Jana Sanghasya refers to associating with persons not interested in Krishna consciousness. One should strictly avoid such association. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has therefore advised us to live only in association of Krishna conscious devotees, Bhakta Sanevas. One should always engage in the service of Krishna Lord, in association of the Lord's devotees. Association with those engaged in a similar line of business is very, now Prabhupada is giving general example. Same like-minded people. Similar line business means same like-minded people having doing the same business is very conductive for advancement in that business. Consequently, materialistic people form various associations and clubs to enhance their endeavor. For example, in the business world, we find such institutes as the Stock Exchange and Chamber of Commerce. So we should have similarly Krishna conscious movement for like-minded people who have the same business. Similarly, we have established this International Society for Krishna Consciousness to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna. This spiritual association offered by our ISKCON movement is increasing day by day. Many people from different parts of the world are joining this society to awaken for their dormant Krishna consciousness. Here ends Srila Prabhupada's purport. Now Bhaktisiddhanta's Anuvarti Tika starts. So Janasanghas here again repeating what we have heard, just read. Associating with persons not interested in Krishna consciousness. Number 2, association with those engaged in similar line of business is very conducive to advancement in that business. For example, a stock exchange, Chamber of Commerce. Similarly, purpose of ISKCON is to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna. In the Shlok 4 of Upadeshamrita, it will come, Shlok 4, verse number 4. 6 symptoms of love shared between devotees is explained. There are 6 symptoms which we share with devotees. When we share these 6 symptoms of love between person not interested in Krishna consciousness is called Janasanghas. So what we read in verse number 4, if we share those things with people not interested in Krishna consciousness, then it is called Janasanghas. Say no to 6 exchanges, Nectar of Instruction, verse number 4, with worldly people, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Devotees should not engage in the activities mentioned in the 4th verse of Upadeshamrita with worldly people. Activities like talking with worldly people in the course of one's work is not considered association. When the same activities are done with affection for someone, then that is considered association with that person. This is a common question. Devotee asks, we are working in office. We have to talk with worldly people. That is not Janasangha. There is no problem. But if you exchange those 6, invite them at home, go through their home, give gift, take this. If you do with those people this, then it's called Janasanghas. If you just simply go and meet, work and come back and do work, just talk about work, it's not Janasanghas, it's okay. But if you exchange things of love with them, then it's called Janasanghas. And what it will lead to ultimately? It will lead to Ati Ahar and prayers. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has done some other place this thing. Who are worldly people now? Who are worldly people with which we should not associate? There is a list by Bhakti Vinod Thakur of the people we should not associate. That is the meaning of Janasanghas. Those worldly people are of 7 kinds. What are they? Mayavadi and atheist, sense enjoyers, karmis. Those who are fond of sense enjoyer, which means those who associate with sense enjoyer. Women, womanizer, the hypocritically devote, the devotee but who is very mundane and rascal, hypocrite, and all the ill-habit, foolish outcasts, all ill-behaved, foolish outcasts. They are worldly people, one should not associate with them. This is Jan Sangha say. Now is coming to our next topic, Anuvritti explanation. A commentary by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. 4 kinds of ati ahar. So we are again going to the first of ati ahar. What are the 4 kinds of ati ahar means? Overeating or over collecting. He says number 1, too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of mental speculators or dry philosophers. Too much endeavor to acquire knowledge of mental speculators means jnanis and philosophers. It means there is ati ahar. Number 1, endeavor of philosophical speculation to write volumes of books on dry philosophy devoid of Krishna consciousness is also ati ahar. The work of the karmis who write volumes of books on economical development is also ati ahar. Simply interested in possessing more and more material. And this is a story here. A rich man becoming a cobbler. In our book, there's this story. He was a rich man and then he built a big mansion for his children. Next life he became cobbler living next to his own house. He went to his own house and they beat him with shoes. So Prabhupada says, why he have done so much ati ahar and prayas? Now he is being beaten by shoes by his own sons. This is a story in our book. Okay? Nemagraha. I think Prabhupada has not written Nemagraha in his own commentary. He has used the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami's commentary for the Nemagraha. And Lolium are also not there in our commentary. What do you think? Our commentary is over, right? So, Nemagraha, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Difference between rules and principles. Rules are like roads and principles are like compass. Generally, rules are the best way, follow the principles. For example, compass shows northern direction and road that in that direction is the best way to go to the northern direction. Secondly, principle is to remember Krishna and rule is chant 16 rounds. The principle is temple to glorify Vishnu. The rule is Vastu, how to build the temple. So this is what is a rule and what is a principle. So there is a principle, it means basically goal and rule is to achieve that goal. The principle is to remember Krishna and it is a goal. And rule is how to do that, chant 16 rounds every day. Now, most important principle. There's only one principle. If we remember, then we are on the path of devotional service. Smrtavyah satatam Vishnoho Vismrtavyo na jatuche Sarva vidhi nishedasya Etayor eva kinkaraha. There's only one principle. One should always remember Vishnu. Sumartavya means remember, Satnam means always, Vishnu means God, Krishna. This is a rule. Most important principle is always remember Krishna. And what is opposite to that? Vismritasya na jakuchita. Never forget him. Sarva vidhi nishedasyu. All those rules and regulations are etayor eva kinkara. They are the servant of this one principle. So one should always remember Vishnu and never forget him. All injunction and prohibition. Injunction means rules and prohibition means regulation. Vidhi means chant Hare Krishna and Nished means follow for regulatory principle. So rule and regulation. Vidhi and Nished. Vidhi and Nished is Sanskrit. Rule and regulation for that is in English. And that is also called do and don'ts. In a yoga they are called yam and name. Name, yam. Are dependent on these two principles. These are the two principles. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. These are the two principles. And all other rules and regulations are servant to this one rule. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu from Padma Purana. Niyamagraha. We insist on rules without understanding the purpose or principle. Bhishma's welcoming guest on deathbed is an example. Because Bhishma was lying on a bed of arrows. Krishna came, but he cannot stand and offer his prostrated obeisances. It's not possible. So, from within the heart, he prayed to Krishna, and that was okay. He was not able to, offer the full obeisance even to Krishna. So many saintly people came, but he simply respected them verbally or by just, he cannot fold hands even, his hands were pierced by the arrows. So he was not following the normal rules of reception of guests, but he was following the principle. Because he was very much respectful to all of them. So just follow the rules without knowing principle is nemagra. Only following rules without knowing the essential principle is nemagra. One meaning. Second meaning, insisting on letters of the rules without understanding the principle can be detrimental, means not good. Example, why respect a Brahman? Respected based on birthright. See, generally we see now Brahmins are fallen, why we should respect Brahman? So we made it means I don't want to respect any Brahman because they are fallen. But it means we give up this injection that we should respect Brahman. So that is also nemagra. We have to respect Brahman because Brahman is fallen. That doesn't mean that there are true Brahmans also. So it is. These are something. So more nemagra is like that. Nam agraha. Nam agraha. This is agraha. Agraha means failure to accept. Difficult to follow. So it is not important. I am not able to get up in the morning, so it's not important. It is important for everybody, may not be for me. So, difficult to follow, so it is not important, is agraha. Failure to accept. Rules are important to follow the principle. Rules are important to follow principle. It is roads to reach the destination and cross country. Rules are the best way to follow principle. Devotees dress. What is it? Posture affect the psychology. It means rule is that we should have a dhoti and tilak and everything. And if we have that, then people will see that we are devotees. But people have now said, no, in public we should go in the suits and like that. It means we don't want follow due to the rules because we don't like it. So this is nam agraha, failure to accept the rules. And these are two meanings of the nam agraha. Agraha means eagerness to accept. One meaning of agraha. Agra, the word is agra, which means eagerness to accept. Accepting some of the scripture rules and regulation for immediate benefit as utilitarians advocate is called nemagra. Agra means failure to accept, neglecting the rules and regulation of the Shastra, scripture, which are meant for spiritual development is called Nam Agra. Both are unfavorable for practice of Krishna consciousness. Nam Agra and Agra both are not favorable for Krishna consciousness. We'll read our book. This is the last part of our purport because we have next day for doing this. So let us read our book now. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anuvarti commentary, the too much endeavor to acquire knowledge, number one, on the part of mental speculator or dry philosophers, takes within the category of ati ahar, collecting more than needed. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of a philosophical exploration to write volumes of books on dry philosophy devoid of Krishna consciousness is entirely futile. The work of karmis, this was second. Number 3, work of karmis who write volumes of books on economical development also falls within the category of ati ahar. Similarly, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness and who are simply interested in possessing more and more material things, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain, are all included under the control of ati ahar. Is it okay? Now we are going to the karmis labor to accumulate more and more money for future generation only because they do not know their future position, interested only in getting more and more money for their sons and grandsons. Such foolish persons do not even know that their position is going to be in the next life. What is going to be next life? There are many incidents that illustrate this point. Once a great karmi accumulated a vast fortune for his sons and grandsons, but later, according to his karma, he took his birth in the cobbler's house located near building which in his previous life he had constructed for his children. It so happened that when this very cobbler came to his farmer house, his farmer sons and grandsons beat him with shoes. Unless the karmis and jnanis become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue to waste their life in fruitless activities. Ati ahar. Accepting some of these scriptures, this is Niyamagra. Now we are going to the Niyamagra. Accepting some of these scripture rules and regulation for immediate benefit, such as utilitarian advocate, is called Niyamagra. Niyamagra. And neglecting the rules and regulation of the Shastra, which are meant for spiritual advancement, is called Niyamagra also. The word agra means eagerness to accept, and word agra means failure to accept. One is agra and one is agra. By the addition of either of these two words to the word name, rules and regulation, the word namagra is formed. Thus namagra has this twofold meaning. That is understood according to the particular combination of the words. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulation for economical development, yet they should very faithfully accept scriptural rules and regulation for the advancement in Krishna consciousness. They should strictly follow the regulatory principle by avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. So these are the 4 things that we should never give up, otherwise it's going to be namagram. Now there's few more words are coming. One should also avoid association with Mayavadis, who simply blaspheme Vaishnavas, devotees. Bhukti Kamis, who are interested in material happiness. Mukti Kamis, who desire liberation by merging in the existence of the formless absolute Brahma. And the Siddhi Kamis, who desire the perfection of mystic yoga, are classified as Ati-aharis. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Shakale Asant or Ati-ahari. To associate with such person is not at all desirable, Janasangasya. Desire to expand the mind by perfecting yoga, mystic yoga, merging in the same thing, mukti, action of the Brahma, or attaining whimsical, material prosperity, all included within the category of laulium. Now they are speaking about laulium. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami is speaking about laulium. Desire to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga, merging in the existence of the Brahma, or attaining whimsical greed, laulia. All attempt to acquire such material benefits or so-called spiritual advancement or impediment on the path of Krishna consciousness. Modern warfare waged between the capitalist and communist is due to their avoiding the advice of Srila Rupa Goswami regarding Ati-ahar. This is Srila Prabhupada's purport, it's not Bhaktisiddhanta's. Modern capitalists accumulate more wealth than necessary, and the communists, envious of their prosperity, want to nationalize all wealth and property. Unfortunately, the communists do not know how to solve the problem of wealth and its distribution. Consequently, when the wealth of the capitalists fall into the hands of the communists, no solution results. Opposed to these two philosophies, the Krishna conscious philosophy states that all wealth belongs to Krishna. Thus, unless all wealth comes under the administration of Krishna, there can be no solution to the economical problem of the mankind. Nothing can be solved by placing wealth in the hands of the communist or capitalist. If a $100 bill is lying on the street, someone may pick it up and put it in his pocket. Such a man is not honest. Another man may see the money and decide to let it remain there, thinking that he should not touch another's property. Although this is second man does not steal the money for his own purposes. He is unaware of its proper use. The third man who sees the $100 bill may pick it up, find the man who lost it and deliver it to him. This man does not steal the money to spend for himself, nor does he neglect it and let it to lie in the street. By taking it and delivering it to the man who has lost it, this man is both honest and wise. Simply transferring wealth from capitalist to communist cannot solve the problem of the modern politics. For it has been demonstrated that when a communist gets money, he uses it for his own sense gratification. The wealth of the world actually belongs to Krishna, and every living entity, man or animal, has the birthright to use God's property for his maintenance. When one takes more than his maintenance required, he Be he a capitalist or communist, he is thief, and as such he is liable to be punished by law of nature. The wealth of the world should be used for the welfare of all living entities, for that is the plan of modern nature, Mother Nature. Everyone has the right to live by utilizing the wealth of the Lord. When the people learn the art of scientifically utilizing Lord's property, they will no longer encroach upon one another's rights. Then an ideal society can be formed. The basic principle for such a spiritual society is stated in first mantra of Sri Isha Upanishad. Ishavasha idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tena kepena vanjita madgradakasya swadhanam. I think we have finished the verse almost. Okay, one more page is there, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's finish this. Everything, this is the meaning of that verse, everything, animated and inanimated, that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So whole thing, Prabhupada's $100 bill is, there's a dishonest man, this is an ignorant man, and a honest and a wise man. So honest and wise is one who knows the property belongs to Krishna, and he just, you give it to Krishna. He's not ignorant, he's not dishonest. So this is the $100 bill example is a capitalist, communist, and all these. Krishna conscious devotee know very well that this material world is designated by the complete management of Lord. It's designed by the complete arrangement of the Lord to fulfill all the necessities of the life to all living beings, without their having to encroach upon the life or rights of one another. This complete arrangement affords the proper quota of wealth for everyone according to his real needs, and thus everyone may live peacefully according to the principle of plain living and high thinking. Unfortunately, materialistic who have neither faith in the plan of God nor any aspiration for higher spiritual development misuse the God-given intelligence only to augment their material positions. They devise many systems such as capitalism, materialism, communism, materialistic communism, to advance their material position. They are not interested in the law of God or in the higher goal. Always anxious to fulfill their unlimited desire for self-gratification. They are conspicuous by their ability to exploit their fellow living beings. When human society gives up these elementary faults entrusted by Srila Rupa Goswami at the R, etc., all enmity will cease between man and animal, capitalist and communist, and so forth. In addition, all the problems of economical or political maladjustment and instability will be solved. This pure Krishna consciousness is awakened by the proper spiritual education and practice offered scientifically by Krishna conscious movement. This Krishna conscious movement offers a spiritual community that can bring about a peaceful condition in the world. Every intelligent man should purify his consciousness and rid himself of the above mentioned 6 hindrances to devotional service by taking wholehearted shelter of this Krishna conscious movement. An ideal society can be found when this is only possible in Krishna conscious society as told in Isha Upanishad. All wealth of the world belongs to Krishna, so it should be used for him only. Thus, everyone has the right to live by utilizing wealth of Lord. Wealth of Lord, world should be used for the welfare of all living entities. This is the art of scientifically utilizing Lord's property. But we should not take more than our maintenance, otherwise we are thief. Learning this art, people will not encroach upon one another's right. Then an ideal society can be formed. The basic principle for such a spiritual society is stated in the first mantra of Sri Ishoparishad, Isha Vasha Idam Sarvam. Here ends our second. Okay, now, yesterday I told you, this is the one volume of Isha Upanishad. Sorry, of the Nectar of Instruction. There is similar one other volume. There are only hardly 3-4 verses in this. I'm just showing you one chart which, if you take a photo, then all whole this mantra is classified. Mantra 2. This one chart. If you walk through this chart, the whole purport is just summarized in this one chart. Now, next part. फोटो लेके इनको शेयर कर दो.
This is commentary of the course on
Commentary of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, commentary of Bhakti sorry, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta. Okay, हो गया? Now, we have read this. I have some question for you. So many, from Prabhupada's writings, they have taken so many purports and all this together at one place. So what we have read now, whether you have understood or not, first question. A Mahatma is one who, number one, is very learned, is very merciful, has a large following, gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord. Which is right? Right?
Yes.
Next. There will be no difficulty in maintaining the body if we, number one, live in a healthy life, don't collect more than necessary for our needs, live a balanced, peaceful life, surrender to Krishna.
Don't collect.
Second.
Second.
Don't collect more than necessary for our needs. This is the answer. This is actually what we read. Number 3. First step in human civilization consists of occupational engagement performed according to the spiritual injunction, understanding there is more to life than eating, sleeping, mating and defending, hearing from a bona fide source, none of the above. First one, occupational engagement performed according to the spiritual injunction is the first step in human civilization consists. Okay. Parjalapa means unnecessary talking, reading newspaper, magazine, novels, crosswords, playing cards, fishing, watching TV. Ala babo. Okay. Jana Sangha refer to association with spiritually minded people, associating with like-minded people, associating with people not interested in Krishna consciousness, associated with petty-minded people. Third one. Atyahar include bhakti karmi, mukti karmi, siddhi karmi, all of them. Atyahar includes all these by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So this is what we read, it means we understood, we registered, okay? So, in simple words, there are some bhajan for that. It's like that, this is a question, Prajalap. A primary symptom of bewildered person is that they talk nonsense. Srimad Bhagavatam Prabhupada writes, nonsensical talks are not supported by the principle of Vedic literature. And the first grade nonsense talk is, it is I, it is mine. So when we say, I have done this belongs to me, this is Parjala. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was invited, when he was invited to come there, he never said, I will come. He said, Krishna willing. I will never come, he never used the word I never come. He said, when Krishna willing. If Radha Shyam Sundar wishes, it's okay. Not me or mine. So any talk which has me and mine is Prajala. Except I am the eternal servant of Krishna. Mundane talks are also known as Prajala. And Sri Udeshamat, Sri Rupa Goswami mentions Prajala as one of the main impediment to devotional service. And Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatana Goswami, a devotee should avoid reading or hearing newspaper and mundane books that contain stories of love affairs between men and women or subject palatable to the senses. Chaitanya Chaitamrita purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prajala means talking all nonsense. Suppose politics, what Mr. Nixon did yesterday, or what did he say? So what interest we have got in Mr. Nixon? We should not waste our time talking this politics, that politics, this sociology, that cinema, this affair. No, we have nothing to do with that. That is called prajalapa, unnecessary talking. Talking means decreasing your duration of life. Right now, like this line. Talking means decreasing your duration of life. Talking. So why should you decrease your life unnecessarily? Letter to Los Angeles, January 374. How best deal with it? Prabhupada writes. A bird will vibrate, a beast will vibrate, but we have to vibrate the transcendental sound. Then we shall be saved from plundering business of the sun. This is secret. This is the secret. Always talk of Krishna. You must, this is one line you have never not registered. I'm reading again. Time is over. I'm reading again. If we talk of, if we vibrate transcendental sound, it means chant Hare Krishna. Then we shall be saved from plundering business of sun. What is this?
Ayur Harati Vai. Sun, there's a shloka in Bhagavatam that states Ayur Harati Vai Pumsam. Sun takes away the life of materialism.
Rising and setting a sun takes away our life. So we will be saved from that. This is a verse from Bhagavatam. Rising and setting sun take away our life. So if we chant Hare Krishna, then we will be saved from plundering effect of sun. Because talking of Krishna means you will understand about Krishna. And Krishna says, anyone who understands me rightly, then after giving up this body will come to me. And as soon as you go to him, back to home, back to Godhead, your life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Our weapon in the campaign against Prajalap and mind pollution, Prabhupada writes, our campaign in the Narad Bhakti Sutra, our weapon in the campaign against Prajalap and mind pollution may include novels, drama, painting, film, musical recording, festival, formal lectures, seminars, and casual meetings, all centered on Krishna. Why should the forces of illusion poses all the weapons and not the devotees? Prabhupada said, when the world is doing all this, why we should not do this? So these are the weapons against Parjalapa and pollution of the mind. It includes, we should have a drama, a spiritual drama, we should have a painting, we should have films, we should have musical recordings. Prabhupada has Hare Krishna. We should have a festival, Gaur Purnima, formal lectures, Shravan Mela, seminars, and casual meetings, all centered on Krishna. Why should the forces of illusion possess all the weapons and not the devotees? So we should have all these as a positive things to avoid Prajana. The Mayavadi who hold the view that the absolute is impersonal and formless contend that a realized soul has no need to talk. This means mourn. But the Vaishnava devotee of Krishna contend that when one reaches the stage of realization, he really begins to talk. Previously, we only talk nonsense, a Vaishnava says. Now, let us begin our real talk of Krishna. So, Mayavadi, when he self-realized, he shut his mouth, moan. When Vaishnava is self-realized, he started speaking real Krishna Katha. He said, before that I was talking Prachara. Prabhupada has written, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela introduction. One should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in a spiritual circle is to say something upheld by the scripture. One should at once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussion, one may drive the highest benefit and elevate human society. One is called Muni when he remains grave and does not talk nonsense. Maharaj Ambarish set a very good example. Whenever he spoke about the pastime of Lord. Mona necessitated refraining from nonsensical talking and engaging the talking facility in the pastime of Lord. In that way, one can chant and hear about the Lord in order to perfect his life. So this is the Prabhupada's quote from different commentaries about these 6 obstacles on the path of devotion. Then comes Nemagra and how best deal with this. So they are from our purpose. But there's a lot more written about this by Prabhupada. Then this is the commentary by our Acharya, Upadeshamrita Bhashya by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He has Bengali verses for that and their translation. And then Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Piyush Varti Tika. Piyush Varti Tika. Then Bhakti Vinod Thakur and other books spoke about these verses. So they are all included, and then some bhajans are included. Janasangasa means the association of Nirvishesh Jnanis, impersonalist. The association of karmis who desire pious credits. Association of the worldly people who are devoid of attaining sense gratification right now. If one associates with the devotees of Lord Hari, only then does he become free and aloof from association with the above mentioned Vishai, sense enjoyments. So these are the Bhakti Siddhanta. Lolium, desire for mukti. Any endeavor for mundane sense enjoyment, bhukti. Because of these 6 conclusions, because of the 6 type of unfavorable practices, Atihar, Priyah, Prajalap, Niyamagra, Jan, Sangas, and Lolium, one cannot remain engaged in Krishna consciousness. The desire to lord it over Maya Devi's kingdom increases, and even the ability to understand the Krishna Bhakti is supreme is lost. Either you increase Bhakti by performing these 6 for Krishna, or you will be thrown by them into some field not related to him and fall down from the path of Bhakti. This is the conclusion by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Then transcendental insight from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So there's a lot more only on a one verse. Almost half this book is about 4 or 5 verses. So it means there's a lot more we can know about this. Now, if you have any question or comment for today's class,
So there's a confusion for that skit you said.
huh?
On verse 2, the skit we prepared, so we were a little confused. So like we have to pick all the six.
We have time one more day for this verse. So on Monday when we meet, we will have a drama on Nemagra. Two type of Nemagra. And also, if you want, we can have on all Atyahar, Prayas, Prajalapa, Nemagra, Lolium and Jansange. On 6, 3 this and 3 this. You decide what topic you want and have put a drama. Show the wrong and right. So you should have two parties. One will show something wrong. What is doing Prajalapa, you show them. Reading newspaper, this whatever. And the other is discussing for hours Krishna Katha. So right thing and wrong thing. What is wrong Prajalapa, what is right Prajalapa, what is wrong Prayas, what is right Prayas. So you do all these 6 together. And if we just quickly, anyway, we have a time tomorrow, on Monday to discuss this. Atyahar Prasascha, 6, what is, here, this is the whole purport is, the whole theme of the purport is, human life is meant for,
Simple living and high thinking.
and I'm going to this slide. You tell me, what is the result of simple living?
We go to Mantra.
Free from external energy.
The result of simple living is
Situated in the internal energy of the Lord.
Escaping Bhairavasya.
escaping from the Maya Devi. Simple living,
Escaping from mind.
escaping Maya Devi, not going to be Duratma, cripple minded, and no. And he's going to be Duratma and doing sense gratification. Right? And high thinking, result?
Come to realization.
Coming under the shelter of internal energy Radharani, then Mahatma, and always engage in devotional service. Simply this, and then we have other list of the simple living and higher thinking, right? Okay, now this one. Who will suffer these 3 type of miseries?
Duratma.
Duratma. Those who are not in Krishna consciousness are materialistic people. They suffer these miseries. 4 main problems of conditioned life. Everybody knows this. How to solve? By going back home, back to Godhead. Through avoiding these 6 obstacles on the path of bhakti. Concept of Atyahar. This is the Atyahar by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Atyahar means overuse of the eyes for the form, overuse of the ears for sound. This is all Atyahar. Okay, and there is a solution for this. This is a solution. Eyes should go for the temple deities, holy places. Ears should hear Krishna Katha, and nose should fragrance of the Tulsi. Tongue taste Krishna Prasad and sing Kirtan. Touch air of the holy dham. And then actually touch means begetting Krishna conscious children. That is the, and then time and places. This is the root cause of Atyahar. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, what is the root cause of Atyahar? Emptiness of the heart. Who will fulfill the heart?
Krishna.
Only Krishna will fill our heart, which means Atma Suprasidati. It means the soul is satisfied only when we become Krishna conscious. While emptiness of heart lead to over collecting, filling the home, overeating, filling the belly, and many degrees filling the mind. This is all because of emptiness. But Gorkashodas Babaji was not an educated person at all, was not a graduate, no degree. But he was the spiritual master of most learned person of the planet at that time. Because his heart was full with Krishna. He has nothing to collect in home, he has nothing to put Ati ahar and no any degrees. He was simple, filled with Krishna. And this one, different type of prayasas by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So, Bhog Prayas, Jnana Prayas, Karma Prayas, Yoga Prayas, Tyag Prayas and Bhakti Prayas. Bhakti Prayas should be accepted or others should be reduced or rejected. And there are quotations, what are these prayas, who does this? Prayas, livelihood, if we have to live, so we need something. There are two ways to do prayas, either in a Vedic way or in a modern scientific way. So Vedic way is God conscious, high living, simple thinking, based on the land and cow, not go to anywhere, just stay peacefully one place. The modern, without Krishna conscious, produce many necessaries and necessities unwanted, based on the factories, slaughterhouses, brothels and liquor shops. For livelihood, people have to travel every day. So this is Priya. This is coming under the Priyas. Under the Priyas. Priyas in the religion. This is the verse. As stated above, Dharmasya Apavargasya, religion is for liberation, not for economical development. So sometimes human society manufacture the so-called religion aimed at material advancement. So what is true religion? We have 4 points about true religion. Anybody recall the 4 points about true religion? One is true religion leads to liberation. Number 2, true religion, follow the law of God. Number 3, true religion,
accept the bare necessities.
accept the bare necessities of life. True religion,
Inquire about the absolute truth.
It's also related. Fourth is also related.
Okay.
related to
okay. So, Prajalapa, in our book by Srila Prabhupada, reading newspaper, magazine, novels, solving crossword, doing many other nonsensical things, playing cards, watching TV, catching fish, debate about useless socio-politics. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, godless Prajalapa is useless talk, argument, gossip, debate, fault finding with others, speaking falsehood, blaspheming devotees, worldly talks are all Prajalapa. Which Prajalapa devotee do the most? Fault finding and blaspheming other devotees, right? Jana Sangasya. This central point is associating with person not interested in Krishna consciousness. Similarly, purpose. Then the Prabhupada gave a material example. Because you need like-minded people, so there are a stock exchange, there is a chamber of commerce, so we have ISKCON. For the people, we are giving opportunity to come, and those who are not forgotten God, Krishna, they can come there. And so, and also the 4th slok exchanges should never be done with material people. So now, who are worldly people? Bhakti Vinod Thakur says worldly people are Mayavadi, atheist, sense enjoyer, those fond of sense enjoyer, women, womanizer, hypocritically devout and ill-behaved, foolish outcast. Here is a list of these 7 as worldly people.
Women are worldly people means
How we can address
They have no complaint. What is your problem? If you, I mean, generally speaking, not devotee, this is not a woman devotee, but normally woman means people see woman as a source of enjoyment. They never see the woman as worshipable, some deity. This is just an instrument for enjoyment. That is the mentality of the common people. And if you have woman, then you need the house. And then you need the house, then you need then you have to do prayas. Then everything starts. A sadhu simply wanted extra dhoti, and then he has to keep the cat, and for cat he got the cow, and for cow he got the woman, and the sadhu came back to the world, right? So it's good for you. So woman, no, I don't know. Okay, Anavarti explanation. We have done this simple. Nemagra, still we have to sometime discuss this nemagra. I think there was two type of nemagra, and we should give up both. Following rules without knowing the principle, and not following rules because we are unable to follow. Both are nemagra, both should be given up. We have to discuss more example about nemagra in next class. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.